So thanks to social media's ability to make everyone famous, thanks to, the new aesthetic we have every single week, thanks to Victoria's Secret's desperate attempts to be woke.
Oh, we get it. You're, woke.
The word it girl is quickly losing its meaning.
To be an it girl in 2024.
These are things that all it girls do. If you want to be one, start.
The word that was once used to describe a spectacular few is now used to describe a popular majority, which makes no sense. So I feel like the best way to describe an it girl is a girl that has the it factor. And the honest truth is, you don't know what it is. You just know that there's something about her that makes her stand out. She has the it factor, probably because she's so cool or so well-rounded. So in this video, I'm going to be talking about the two types of it girls, the natural it girl and the created or curated it girl. And to explain this, I'm going to be breaking down the fictional lives of two of my favorite characters, Serena and Blair Waldorf.
Hey Upper East Siders, Gossip Girl here, and I have the biggest news ever.
First of all, let's define our terms. I would say a natural it girl is a girl that's being cool naturally comes to. She effortlessly behaves in a manner that makes people around her naturally flock to her or are influenced by her. While a curated it girl is a girl that has carefully planned out her lifestyle and her brand to ensure that she's always perceived as the cool girl. She strategically uses her resources to maintain her persona and her influence. So an it girl has to be very charming and very charismatic, and we see that easily and clearly in the life of Serena. She tends to have a carefree, vibrant, living life to the fullest kind of attitude. She's confident in herself, she stands tall, she doesn't follow the status quo, and she doesn't feel the need to try and impress anyone. She pretty much makes her own rules. We can see that through the way she doesn't feel the need to attend all the parties to remain relevant.
Oh, I'm not going to that.
How she has a warm and friendly attitude towards everyone she meets, regardless of their financial class.
Oh, hi, I'm Serena.
I know. I mean,
she's quick to speak her mind and bold enough to go for what she wants and what she believes in. She knows that whatever she does is hot topic anyways, so she's happy being authentically her.
But everyone knows Serena, and everyone is talking.
Bear in mind that she goes to a school where 90% of her schoolmates are rich, so her popularity doesn't come from her wealth, but from the fact that she has a naturally energetic, attractive, and bubbly character. Blair, on the other hand, I feel like Blair has a lot of insecurities that have drained her natural charm.
It's not my fault you're so insecure.
and I'm sure it's not your fault you're so conceited.
A father who she felt abandoned her for another man. A mother who tended to look down on her or kept on comparing her to Serena. A boyfriend she felt wasn't being genuine. A best friend who abandoned her out of the blues. And her eating disorder.
I don't even know why you went to boarding school to begin with. Do you know how it felt calling your house when you didn't show up at school and having your mom say, Serena didn't tell you that she moved to Connecticut?
Blair is going through a lot, and due to that, she has no natural charm left to give. Hence, she maintains her it-girl status by being conniving, like calculating, and enforcing fear amongst her subjects.
It's a party, Jenny. Either swallow that or swipe your Metro card back home.
Does that remind you of anyone? Regina George. Make sure you check out that video. Yeah. So being Queen Bee is pretty much all Blair has and all she can actually hold on to. This is why she would go as far as bribing her friends to dinner just so she can have them back under her control when she lost them to Jenny. There was a constant need for her to maintain her Queen Bee position by, showing her wealth, throwing parties and lavish sleepovers just so she can maintain their loyalty towards her.
I prefer soiree. Sleepover is so sophomore year.
This was why she was always ready to scheme her way into getting whatever she wanted or to take out anyone she felt was in her way or coming for her position.
Maybe I am a total bitch. Did you ever think about that?
So now we have Serena, who was popular and liked because she was a naturally cool girl. And then we have Blair, who was popular, probably not liked, but feared and respected because she knew how to make people do whatever she wanted.
I'm giving you what you need to be queen.
I don't want to be queen. I just wanted a chance to have a life in school. Look what it almost made me do.
That's the thing. You need to be cool to be queen. Anne Boleyn thought only with her heart and she got her head chopped off. So, her daughter Elizabeth made a vow never to marry a man. She married her country. Forget boys. Keep your eye on the prize, Jenny Humphrey. You can't make people love you, but you can make them fear you. For what it's worth. You're my queen. I choose you.
So a modern example will be Kylie and Kim. Kylie being the natural it girl and Kim being the curated it girl. So in 2015, 16, 17, that was the King Kylie era. I would say that was the era that Kylie really reigned as an it girl. She was within the ages of 17 to 19 at the time, and she was truly living her best authentic life.
Am I that weird?
She was more free, she was more playful, she laughed a lot, and generally had a bubbly personality.
I know I wear the same shirt. Okay, I get it. I get it.
Vine still existed at the time, so we got to see a genuinely free and spontaneous version of Kylie.
My family's in there.
And the teens of that generation were pretty much obsessed with whatever she did. She had a cool sense of style. She was known for dyeing her hair different ombre colors. I think she was the one who popularized the green ombre hair for me, because I can't think of green hair without this picture of Kylie popping up in my head.
I cannot stop staring at her blue hair. Like, why does she have to have blue hair at my wedding?
So this natural, authentic coolness of Kylie, coupled with the fact that she was rich and had access to things girls her age aspired to have, made it easy for her to be an it girl. Whereas Kim, on the other hand, had to be very calculating to achieve her it girl status.
I'm gonna get a tape of this because I hope you do so you can see me when I'm famous and older and remember me of this beautiful little girl.
Unlike Blair, she wasn't evil in her schemes, but she was very intentional about putting herself in the limelight.
Did it come out good? Yeah. Awesome. Thank you so much. I'm sorry to bother you.
She knew she didn't want to be under Paris's shadow forever. That's why she was very strategic about her branding, from things like calling the paparazzi on herself to allegedly releasing her own sex tape.
Did I do that?
So similar to Blair, Kim knew that being Queen Bee wasn't something that was going to come naturally to her. So she had to be very strategic in doing things, wearing things, saying things, being in places that people would notice her and, give her the attention she wanted.
I would have done anything to be famous. I'm so open and honest about the fact that I loved being famous.
When I built Kim Kardashian's career, there was no social media. The only form of content that you could get was through the paparazzi. I said, I'm gonna make the entire world sick of the word Kardashian. How am I gonna do that? I'm gonna document everything and put it out to the news. She changes her hair, I'll make it news. She goes to Starbucks, I'm gonna make it news. Kim Kardashian didn't play around to become successful. There was a nail salon in Bedford Drive. That place was where the biggest Hollywood stars would go to get their nails. I put someone in that organization on my payroll. What they did is call me up and say, this A-list celebrity just walked in to get our nails done. I would then call Kim and say, go get your nails done. And she, guess what? She's kicking back with A-list celebrities and producers while getting her nails done, and I've got cameras, paparazzi, everyone coming out.
I feel the need to say that the essence of this video isn't to put women against each other, but to show us, the average Joes, that you can actually be the it girl or boy if this is something you want for your brand. It can actually be achieved even if it doesn't come naturally to you. You just have to get creative about curating your life, or at least curating the version of your life you want to put out to the world, which is pretty much branding or building a brand. I'll give another non-polarizing, non-toxic example. Zendaya. I feel like she's the best version of both worlds, a natural and a curated it girl. I'll explain. So looking at Zendaya, I feel like we can admit that she seems very sweet and charming. She radiates this kind of brightness and a sense of grace that just makes you want to look at her or admire her.
Whatever this is,
If you ask me, she has the it factor naturally. But now we live in a world where there is so much noise. Everybody and their aunt is trying to be famous or go viral. So it makes it hard for anyone to naturally stand out. So as charming as she is, she had to be very strategic about her branding.
Avenue in a lane of my own that was outside of Disney Channel was fashion. I would show up to shit I had no business being at, just so I can get the look. You know what I'm saying?
Nice.
So me and Law,
So you were crashing parties and being like, I'm here.
I was called for years to be like, oh, the seat filler, she just shows up to everything. You know what I'm saying? I was like, yeah, but I look good though, so how about that? Still on the best dress list. So that kind of became my thing to get out of people seeing me in a certain way. I would dress very well at things I didn't need to be at.
She actually admits that she went to events where she wasn't invited to and then dressed really well so people would talk about her. Or that she would wear outfits that other celebrities had worn just so people would talk about her and who wore it better, comparing her to those other celebrities. Strategy. I talk more about Zendaya's brand strategy in this video, so you should also check it out. Yeah. But my point is, some girls have to work very hard at being the it girl, and that is perfectly fine. So now let's talk about fashion.
It's giving fashion.
Serena had a kind of natural style and appeal that made everything she wore look cool. We can see that from the way she would effortlessly style her school uniform and still look cool. My emphasis is on effortless because we also had Blair, who was so stylish. Her school looks were always so cute and preppy, but it was obvious a lot of thought had gone into those looks. Serena was one who knew how to carry clothes well and not let the clothes carry her. She stood tall and her confidence naturally enhanced whatever she wore. Now Blair, on the other hand, she had a great sense of fashion. I personally love the preppy style she had on the show, but I would say she was more current with fashion and trends than being truly stylish. She wore more of the latest trends and the newest releases and wouldn't be caught dead in like last year's release.
Are those last season's Toy Brush flats? I got them on sale?
I feel like a truly stylish person doesn't need the latest trends. A truly stylish person can actually turn like a sackcloth into couture.
Now that's fashion.
Certainly, to her peers, to even myself, or to anyone who is looking at her, she would appear stylish and like the it girl when it comes to fashion. She wasn't particularly setting trends with her style, but instead she was following the trends and using her financial privileges to create a space for herself with the latest fashion. So a perfect example of an effortlessly stylish it girl would be Rihanna.
Rihanna right here.
I personally feel that Rihanna can make any outfit look cool. I mean, give her a sackcloth and she would rock it and make you want to buy it. Because her confidence, her vibrance, her sex appeal, and the way she carries herself makes her look good in anything she wears. She always looks effortlessly fun and fresh, and you get the impression that she's enjoying herself. I mean, there was a time when Rihanna's hairstyles literally had a chokehold on a lot of girls. Girls were taking Rihanna's pictures to their hairstylists because she gave us a variety of trendy haircuts. From the two-layered bobs, like the pixie cuts, to the shaving of one side of the head, the mohawk. Riri was the it girl, and still is, really. Even while pregnant, she was still turning heads and creating trends.
No basic zone. No basic.
So for a curated it girl, I'll be comparing Rihanna to Beyoncé. Now, we can say Beyoncé's fashion is one that is powerfully and stylishly curated to foster Beyoncé's identity as queen of pop. Even scrolling through her Instagram page is evidence of a heavily curated image. Unlike Rihanna, who seems like she can throw on anything together and still give off that effortlessly cool vibe, Beyoncé's looks are perfectly planned, strategically coordinated without a strand of hair out of place. Now, Beyoncé always looks amazing. But like Blair, her looks are perfectly curated to make sure she always presents herself as Queen Bee. And like many of the influencers who have used fashion to build a name for themselves, you can always tell who is the true it girl in fashion and those who are curated and carefully building an image for themselves. For example, like Analia Kaur, she has a very eccentric style, but you can tell that she's genuinely enjoying herself, and this is genuinely her mode of expressing herself.
Outfit of the day? Oh no, baby. This is the outfit of the times. You're gonna remember this outfit today, tomorrow, the day after this, the month after this, the year after that one, and...
An influencer I particularly like is Julia Fox. Now, she is more curated, but her personal style shines through and is very aspirational. You can tell that she's a natural it girl when it comes to fashion, even though she has a well-planned and well-curated personal brand. And to emphasize again, both sides of the spectrum are fine. No it girl is better than the other. For those of us who can't be naturally cool, you can curate your cool. So now let's talk about popularity, relevance, and cultural influence. In simpler words, this will be how the audience at large perceives a person. Now, these are things that are naturally said by the audience's response to or acceptance of a person, but it can also be curated. And the perfect example of this is probably one of the most popular and the most immortalized it girls, Marilyn Monroe. Yes, Marilyn was a heavily curated it girl.
I figured it just isn't right to drink champagne in matador pants. Would you mind fastening my straps in the back?
First of all, her real name isn't even Marilyn Monroe. It's Norma Jean Mortensen. Like such a normal girl name. It's literally Norma. So Marilyn adopted the blonde bombshell character while she was acting, even while she was off camera. For example, she was naturally a curly brunette, but she knew that the blonde persona was what got people hooked on her. So she maintained that look even when she wasn't acting. According to photographer Nancy Lee Andrew, For Marilyn, going blonde, it was like the Hollywood star building machine. She saw what it could do for her. Marilyn was a smart girl. She worked hard to build her career. She always studied to improve her acting, asking for feedback on her performances from her directors. For 5 years, she took every role that would come her way. And she was friendly with reporters on set so they could give her a media boost. She was a smart girl, but she also knew her sexy, slightly bimbo, airhead persona was working for her. And she maintained it, even while off camera.
Your picture has been on the cover of almost all popular magazines, hasn't it?
No, not the Ladies' Home Journal.
That you would like, would you?
Yes.
Why?
Well, I used to long for it. I used to appear on, when I was modeling, on men's magazine covers, such as, I don't know, Squint, Peep.
So that clip was actually an interview. And you can see she maintained that soft-spoken, slightly oblivious persona that you would get from most of her movies.
Oh, do you feel the breeze from the subway? Isn't it delicious?
So basically, she was keeping in character and maintaining the illusion of Marilyn Monroe, even in her real everyday life. And this in turn led to her widespread fame and popularity. Like, you know, for most actors, they can switch off. Like, you see them play this character and play this role, but when they're doing their interviews, when they're talking normally, they kind of switch off from that character. They're their real selves, but when they're playing a character, they embody that character. Marilyn embodied Marilyn well on screen and well off screen. She was always acting. It's much easier to curate your look or your fashion and like style. It's much easier to curate your personal brand, but having to curate your whole life or your whole personality, that is top tier. I feel like curating her whole life to the only version of her that people wanted to see must have been very hard, very sad, and very lonely. Towards the end of her life, she was actually trying to break out from that persona. She actually kind of rioted with her management, so they would give her more challenging roles or roles different from what people already knew her as. But I feel like that was at a point where people already had like a particular image of her stuck in their heads. And like Blair, Marilyn also had a distressed childhood. She never met her father. Her mother was unstable and always in and out of mental institutes. Because of that, she was always in and out of foster care and had lived in about 12 homes before the age of 16. Many of which were abusive. So I actually understand her faking her whole personality and sticking to that one personality she felt people loved. This video is meant to show you the different categories of it girls, but now I'm in my feelings. So in conclusion, I feel it's best when you're living your best life and people are naturally drawn to you. But for those of us who are naturally cool and you want to build a powerful brand, you wouldn't be the first to curate your life. Even the great it girls also had to fake it till they made it. I guess the best version would be where we see your naturally authentic personality, but you work extra hard and strategically to ensure that your brand image is always memorable and people don't forget who you are. So you do what you want with this information. My name is Thelma Briggs and I make videos on iconic women and female characters, highlighting what makes them iconic. Thanks for watching. Remember, God loves you, and I'll see you in the next video.